Hi, this is Emily Bowen-Moore. This is Journalism 273 in the Meek School of Journalism and New Media at the University of Mississippi. And this tutorial is about InDesign, and we are looking at magazine layout. And I want to talk about body copy layout just for a couple of minutes and just go through a couple of things with your layout that'll be very important. And one of those things is laying out your body copy. And I've already gone into the Word document of an article. I have copied some of the body copy here. And I want to lay it out here in InDesign. And they make it very efficient for you to do copy because they allow you to just continue your copy from text box to text box. So I have my type tool created here. I want to create my first column here to put my type, and I'm going to make sure it goes to this gutter right here. So that way I have several columns in place, and this is a wide enough column for body copy. Should be able to see it just fine. So if I double click, I'm automatically in my type tool, and I can paste or Command V what I've copied from the article here. Now notice now I have a plus sign right here on my box. Like if I go and get in my my selection tool here, you can see that it's put this in here, but there is more type in here than what it is showing and what will fit here. So that's what the plus sign is all about. So if I click on that, it's automatically going to let me continue. So I'm going to start another text box here. I'm going to do it the same width. Actually, there we go. And it continues. So if I continue doing that, I can set 3 columns in place here and continue it wherever I have adjusted my layout or designed it in my sketch. So say on the second page, it's going to go all the way up to the top here. I can click on my plus sign and go up here. And you can just click also, it will create an actual box for you, but you'll have to adjust it and scale it just like you do either way. So if I click this again and I go back up here to start another, it will create a box. So it will allow me to just scale it however I need to. I think I had that 4 columns. There we go. So it'll continue on. And now you can style your copy, and you have paragraph styles here. They act just like layer comps. So what you would want to do here is select it all, Command A, and that will select everything that you've copied from text box to text box. If you do them individually and don't click the plus button, then you'll have to edit them individually as well. So let's stylize this. Let's say we want to make this a little bit smaller, so say 11 points, and bring that down to 13 in terms of our leading. Let's adjust let's switch to we'll just try something different here in terms of a typeface, a Thelis, and we're going to have it regular here. And right now we've just got it flush to the left, which is fine. If we go into our paragraph menu, you will see though that we have a hyphenate box here clicked, and what that means is if you look, any time a word runs to the end of the line, it's going to say hyphenate that. So you don't want that clicked. You want to click that off so that it reads more appropriately. You don't want to see hyphenations every other line as you're reading. So it will keep any hyphenated word, like for instance wish list and other things that are supposed to be hyphenated, then they will stay that way. Okay, so now we've adjusted that, and we've adjusted the size, we've adjusted the leading, we've adjusted and aligned it to the left. You can also justify, so you have that option as well. So I want to show you though, if you justify, what happens is used to get gaps between words that are inconsistent. You have some words and characters that have more space than others. So I will show you how to adjust that. But if we go to our paragraph styles, once you have it styled like you want, you can create a paragraph style for that. So we're going to create a paragraph style. It's just like a layer comp. So we're going to call this body copy, since that's how we're stylizing our body copy. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the justification also. If we go over here in our settings under justification, this basically helps you space out the words and characters to balance out those inconsistent gaps. So the rule of thumb, this one has it the minimum 80% to 133% maximum in terms of word spacing, and letter spacing we want to adjust that to from 0%. So I'm going to adjust this. If we adjust that to 75 and then adjust it to about 120, and then we'll leave the minimum at 0, but we will turn the maximum to 5% here. So that will give us, you can tweak that a little bit here and there, but this should give us a nice balance overall. So if we click OK, you will see a slight adjustment here in the spacing, and it reads a lot better, and it's a lot easier flow for the eyes. You also want to be aware of any widows, which means if you have multiple paragraphs where you have just one word ending the line, then you need to adjust and tweak your type, and you don't want a lot of widows along the flow of your reading. So you will have to tweak here and there to get everything aligning and working in terms of readability. So on your second spread, if you continue your body copy here, you can just select it all and go to body copy on your paragraph styles, and it will automatically style it the same. So that's what paragraph styles do for your layout. It makes things a lot easier and time efficient. You also have in your paragraph window, which is actually going to be under type. It's not going to be in your window. Your paragraph styles will be under window here, just to remember that. So you are also instructed to include a drop cap. So if we were going to make this in here, our drop cap, if you go to your paragraph window, you've got a drop cap setting here. And you can just adjust how many lines of type you want it to take up. So if I go 4 lines of type, that it makes it nice and large and gives us a nice start to the article here. So just think about using that. You don't want to, if we do it in a different way, say we just adjust the size of this to like 30 points, you see the difference? It's not going to read the same, and you're going to end up with the space around the type or the character itself that's not really working cohesively with the body copy after. So instead of doing it that way, use your drop cap setting here, and that keeps it aligned appropriately. Okay, so another issue that you want to watch out for and be aware of is, let's say we have a photo here, and I'm going to go ahead and place it across the gutter here, and I'm going to click D. I'm going to grab this. Just going to grab one of these first photos here. So it's very important to go ahead and lay out your frame boxes for your photographs. It automatically places the image within that frame instead of randomly along the page, and that adds a few more steps. You're going to have to then scale it appropriately, then put it in place. So here you can still scale it appropriately, but remember you've got a frame box and you've got the image itself. So if we just click on this, that's my frame, but if I double click, that's going to give me my outside, that's my actual image, and I can scale that accordingly. So use your Shift key to scale proportionately, of course. And notice we've got type under picture over here. You can also wrap your type around. You have a text wrap window. And I'm going to open that. Here you've got some settings here. So if I select this image, I can wrap it, and this will make the type itself wrap. Now, anytime you impede on a column of type, you want to make sure that it's still left with enough space where you have readability here. So I'm going to move that in just a little bit to add a few more words per line. That's going to make the column a little wider. Because I'm also going to go over here, and this allows some spacing to separate the picture from the body copy. So see how it's flushing right up against the edge there. We want a little space. So if this is clicked, it will adjust all sides there. So that looks about right and looks like enough space there. If we go to print preview, you can see that pretty clearly and read it pretty well. You may want to add a little bit more. And you've got different options. So say you had a round picture, it would wrap around here. And you also have settings here where you can put it on jump an object from the top to the bottom and so forth. So you can set the space there however you need to. So I want you to know where your wrapping your type is. And I think those are going to be some of the major things right there. You still may have to go in and adjust leading between columns or between sections or paragraphs. You will also need to make sure the flow of the read. See here, right here, obviously, at the start of the paragraph down here, that doesn't need to be just one line at the bottom, so I could easily move that. I may want to consider making that an actual drop cap again. But see how that's reading right there? So you have to play around with it and make sure that it's working visually. But whatever you have in your sketch, you will follow that as closely as you can, making minor tweaks and modifications along the way. But you don't want to have to redo your entire layout. So keep close to your original plan and make sure that you're reinforcing your grid as much as you can. Now, if you do your type this way, you will also see that your baselines will be aligned here. And you can test that by just pulling down from your ruler, and you can see that these baselines are lining up from column to column. So if you lay it out that way, it will automatically kind of do that for you. So, all right, so that should get you started on your body copy and laying out, knowing your paragraphs and paragraph styles. So if you're in your paragraph styles, if you need to get to the justification settings, just double click on that paragraph style, and you can set your indents as well. So if you have a left justify here, you can include a couple points there so it indents your indentions if you indent a paragraph for any reason. Don't use your tab key. If you just space over, it will automatically indent the appropriate amount of points that you've placed in the style there under your indents and spacing. So that's where you can access all of those things and make those minor adjustments. So some things to think about. So just pay attention to your fundamentals, and good luck, and thanks for listening.